So after a shocking conclusion of the last episode, we're back here now for episode 6 of Criminal Minds Evolution. My review here, where we're going to get you hyped for this week's episode. And this week's episode is titled True Conviction. And man, I was, first of all, really? Like, you gonna leave us on a cliffhanger like that and then take a few weeks break? Like, really, Criminal Minds? But it's all good. We're back here for episode 6, and I was very excited to see where things were going to pick up, where we left off at. And we picked up right in the midst of things where, you know, last week, which I couldn't really tell you because it's truly a spoiler, but like, JJ and Luke, I mean, I didn't know. I mean, who's to say when they're ready to, like, kill off a character and how they want to do it? And yeah, they're our favorites. Yes, they're recurring regulars, but you just never know. And I really thought, like, honestly, I thought they were going to kill off JJ, especially the story that she's having. And it just would have just been heart-dropping, and it could have worked. But luckily they didn't, and we're back here now as we see our two favorites have survived. And in the theme of this episode, it does have a lot to do with relationships. We're seeing some discovered, some challenged, and new ones formed with everybody involved. And even a character in this episode where we truly we get so much context about a particular character that the duration, most of the duration of this episode is focused on the mystery of two characters that we're introduced to, and the significance to obviously what's happening with the season. But then not only that, because we start from the past and we kind of work our way to the current time and understanding the relevance of these characters. I'm super high level overly blanking that statement, but you'll see that in this, you know, because with every episode we do have a villain or a criminal of some sort, and you know, sometimes it's connected to the main arc of the season, and sometimes it's just something off to the side that, you know, helps further elevate the mystery and the mystique of Sicarius. So this one's a little Sicarius, and this one's a little different here because I was very caught off guard about how things connected, but when it did, it started to make sense. And I think now, especially in terms of Sicarius, I think we are finally starting to see a direction in which the BAU is going to use to get their guy. Because they've been swinging, striking out left and right, trying to hit a home run here, and it just hasn't, nothing has really landed for them. But anyway, with JJ and Luke's situation within this new container here, with this container blowing up, yes, our two survive, but they also discover a lot within this container. And within the container, it does start to make it seem like Sicarius is all about, is behind all of this, right? But there's actually somebody else who sort of steps up to take the fall for a lot of this. And that's where things starts to get very tricky, because things now start to become not what they seem. So, you know, you have that happening in the present time, but then in the past, we get introduced to a young boy and his uncle, who the young boy loses his mom and dad, and so his uncle takes custody of him. And his uncle is this sort of this guy that's off the grid, who has nothing but bad intentions, and basically grooming this kid to be a shadow of himself. And it's very possessive. It's very traumatizing. But we see these two grow up with one another as we start to see more and more of this young boy become more and more like his uncle, or just starts to try to rebel to come from under his uncle, which you'll have to see how that kind of plays out here. So there is that. And with that, like I said, that story arc in this episode does connect to our present story arc in terms of, you know, discovering who Sicarius is, an individual who is taking the fall for Sicarius, and then obviously them trying to figure out how they're going to get him. So there's a lot of that kind of going on here. But like I said, the biggest thing for the BAU is they start to learn where he hunts and how he hunts, like the type of people. So major clues are revealed in terms of really getting a profile on how Sicarius operates here. So it's things are getting super juicy now, and I'm getting very, very excited for it. But Tyler's story arc is something special in this one as well too. Tyler gets news on his sister, and with that, you know, and for you all to determine here now, or should I say to be kind of on edge about, or just suspicious, nonetheless, however you want to take this. Tyler gets news about his sister, and now we're all curious about what will he make of that? What is the news, and how will he react to the news? And that's a very important part of this episode, is upon the information that Tyler gets about his sister, how he reacts to that. And obviously there's others that care about Tyler, and how does that form their sort of bond, their relationship and whatnot. You're gonna see. But yeah, again, with the discovery of this second container of victims, understanding this new pattern of victimologies and how that helps the BAU in terms of really profiling Sicarius here. So, you know, there's a lot going on. There's a character, Savio, that is introduced, and we kind of see what Savio's involvement with everything that's happening. And as I said, things ain't exactly what it seems. So, like, you know, when introduces Savio, you just, you know, be a little reserved, because, you know, you may not have to judge a book by its cover. I mean, Savio's getting ready to, be put to death. He's already incarcerated, but understanding why they have interest in him and what his involvement may be and what his connections may be and why he may be doing what he's doing. There is, you're going to see. And I think the chilling last sort of statement at the end of this episode is super foreshadowing of what things is to come. And I will read it just so you're on alert for this. But it says, "Family is what gets you killed." And I was like, oh. And as I mentioned, well, I'm not even going to elaborate on it anymore, but that statement ends this episode, and it definitely will give you chills, but it definitely will be, for me, it projects a lot of foreshadowing of things that potentially can come. And hey, everyone has family on this, and that, who knows what that means and how that's going to be a theme for the episodes beyond episode 6 here. But yeah, you know, the statement is told from one person to the next, but understanding how that statement, I feel, will be a theme for anybody and everybody on this series. So, folks, this is episode 6, True Conviction of Criminal Minds Evolution. I cannot wait to come back next week for episode 7. But for the meantime, y'all jump in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about episode 6. The things you piece together, some of the clues. You all can talk spoilers. I obviously got to be discreet because I'm talking before the episode airs. And I want to hear what you all think once you check it out. I will be in the comments down there giving you my further thoughts and analysis of it. So yeah, let me know in the comments below your thoughts about this episode. And we'll be back next week for another review of Criminal Minds Evolution.